The mannequin's hand closes around my wrist as the security camera feed turns to static. Its plastic fingers dig into my skin with impossible strength, cold and unyielding. Its blank face inches from mine, featureless, except for a mouth that wasn't there before. A jagged crack spreading across the white surface, widening to reveal nothing but darkness. The display lights flicker madly behind me as my radio crackles with voices speaking backwards. I can't move. I can't scream. And worst of all, I recognize this mannequin. It's the one that's been moving between stores every night, the one I've been tracking on camera for weeks. Except this time, I made the mistake of confronting it directly. Now I understand why Rivergate Mall is dying. It's not the economy. Something is feeding on this place, and I've just become part of its midnight inventory. My first night at Rivergate Mall started 3 months ago. The management company hired me as night security after slashing the budget. 1 guard instead of 3, watching a half-empty shopping centre slowly fading into irrelevance. Just keep an eye on things, they said during my orientation. Most stores are vacant anyway. They weren't wrong. Rivergate is a classic dead mall walking. Cracked tiles echo under my boots as I patrol. Food court, empty except for a Chinese place hanging on by a thread. West wing, completely dark, stores vacant for years. East wing, a few retail chains too locked into their leases to leave. The central atrium's fountain doesn't run anymore. Just a dry concrete bowl collecting dust and pennies nobody bothered to wish on. The job is easy though. Walk the corridors, check the locks, monitor security feeds, report anything unusual. If only I'd known what unusual would come to mean in this liminal wasteland. The first incident happened during week 2. I'm reviewing overnight footage, standard procedure, when I noticed something odd at 3:17 a.m. in the Forever 21 that closed last month. The mannequins in the window display are arranged differently than they were during my patrol. I rewind. Watch carefully. No one enters the store, yet at 3:17, the center mannequin rotates approximately 40 degrees to face the camera. I document it, file a report. Management emails back, probably cleaner or stockers prepping for liquidation. Disregard. But no one else has access keys overnight. The next evening, I place a small piece of tape on the floor around each mannequin's base. During my 2 a.m. round, everything's normal. By 4 a.m., one mannequin stands 2 inches outside its tape outline. My flashlight beam catches something else. A handprint on the glass from inside the store. I start keeping a private log, separate from official reports. Day 23. 3 mannequins from closed stores have appeared in the central atrium overnight, positioned around the dry fountain. Day 27. Security camera in North Corridor experiences static interference precisely at 3:17 a.m., lasting exactly 3 minutes. Day 30. Found all restroom faucets running simultaneously at 2:44 a.m., despite being off during previous check at 1:50 a.m. I begin taking photos, recording video on my phone. The mall's service corridors, bleak concrete arteries behind the storefronts, feel increasingly claustrophobic. I catch reflections in darkened store windows that don't match my movements. The air smells wrong in certain spots, like ozone and dust and something sweet I can't identify. I map out occurrences on a directory looking for patterns. They cluster around stores that have been empty longest. Something feels methodical about it all, almost deliberate. Day 45 marks a significant escalation. The mannequins no longer pretend to be subtle. I watch through camera feeds as one actually walks, from Macy's to the Victoria's Secret display at 3:14 a.m. Its movements are jerky but deliberate. I save the footage, hands shaking. The temperature in the security office plummets until I can see my breath. The lights in the food court begin blinking in what I eventually recognize as Morse code, HERE. By day 47, I'm capturing EVPs on my phone. Whispers that sound like inventory numbers and retail jargon, distorted as if over a dying PA system. The mall's old promotional jingle sometimes plays faintly from stores that have been emptied of everything, including speakers. I find merchandise arranged in perfect circles on floors. Escalators reverse direction when I approach them. Yet I can't stop watching, documenting. Something wants my attention. I decide to investigate the longest vacant store. A department store shuttered 8 years ago, its entrance covered with black plastic behind a pull gate. My flashlight beam cuts through dust as I slip inside. Clothing racks stand in military precision despite years of abandonment. No dust on them. The air feels charged, like the moment before lightning strikes. As I move deeper, I find a stockroom door ajar. Inside, mannequins stand in a perfect circle, all facing inward toward an empty center. My flashlight flickers, dims. In the weakening beam, I notice the floor. The tiles have been pried up, revealing bare concrete etched with symbols I don't recognize, curves and angles that hurt my eyes. I take photos, but they come out blurred, except for one clear image. A mannequin hand reaching toward the camera that wasn't there when I took the picture. By meticulously reviewing weeks of footage, I identify the pattern. Activities intensify between 3 Kirusi and 3:30 a.m. They escalate on days when a business announces closure or during store liquidations. The phenomena feed on retail death. I discover another trigger accidentally when I cut my hand on a broken display case. 3 drops of blood hit the tile, and every light in that wing surges brighter before dying completely. I stand frozen in darkness as the mannequins whisper. Their voices sound like plastic shopping bags rustling. Inventory, they say. Clearance. Final sale. I've stopped filing official reports entirely. The mall management never responds anyway. Instead, I bring research materials with me. Books on liminal spaces, retail architecture, urban legends. One passage discusses how certain buildings can become hungry after housing too much human desire. Malls are particularly susceptible. Temples of want eventually wanting back. Day 60. I arrive for my shift and immediately sense something wrong. The mall is humming, a low vibration I feel in my molars. The security desk computer shows all cameras functioning, but each feed displays the exact same timestamp, 3:17 a.m. I restart the system. When monitors reboot, every camera shows mannequins standing directly in front of each lens, staring. I grab my radio and flashlight, hands trembling. The mall's interior feels vast tonight. Distances between stores stretching impossibly. I find the first mannequin exactly where the camera showed it, standing before the lens. But as my flashlight illuminates it, I see its surface isn't plastic. The texture is wrong, more like skin stretched over a frame. Its blank face has indentations where features should be, as if something is pushing out from inside, and on his chest, a name tag bearing my name. I run back to security, but the monitors now show me standing in multiple locations simultaneously. Morning shift arrives. Paul, a retired cop who thinks I'm paranoid. I show him the footage, the photos, my log. He squints at the mannequin images. They're just mannequins, kid. Mall's shutting down next quarter anyway. Management confirmed yesterday. This new information sends ice through my veins. The mall's death sentence has been pronounced. Paul continues. You've been alone too much. Graveyard shift messes with your head. But when I pull up the 3:17 a.m. footage, the monitors show nothing unusual. Mannequins in normal positions, no static, no movement. My photos are similarly altered, just empty store interiors. My documented evidence is being erased somehow. That night, I find a manila envelope on the security desk with transfer papers to the company's new property across town. At the bottom, a handwritten note. Take the transfer. Final warning. The handwriting matches mine exactly. Sleep becomes impossible. Even at home, miles from Rivergate, I hear the mannequins whispering. My apartment windows reflect store displays instead of furniture. I find mall directory maps in my pockets I never took. My bathroom mirror shows me standing in the security office instead of my bathroom. I research obsessively, find stories of other guards at dying malls, posts on obscure forums about retail liminal transformation events. Most accounts stop abruptly. When I shower, water runs black for 10 seconds before clearing. I bag a sample. Under bathroom lights it's water, but photographed, it looks like oil. I start voice recording everything. Listening back, I catch voices behind mine, reciting store locations and closing announcements. I call in sick for 3 days, but somehow still appear on security footage those nights, patrolling corridors. Except my movements aren't right. Too stiff, too precise. I know I need to go back. I dig through county records and newspaper archives. Rivergate Mall was built on land purchased from a bankrupt funeral home chain. Construction halted twice after accidents. Cave-ins that revealed previously unknown chambers beneath the foundation. Architectural plans show last-minute design changes to work around these spaces rather than fill them. More disturbingly, I discover retail employee disappearances dating back to the mall's opening, all officially ruled as quits without notice, all occurring during closing shifts. The original mall designer committed suicide 6 months after completion, leaving behind journals filled with sketches of mannequins with human eyes. The final page contains one sentence. Retail spaces aren't designed to display products. They're designed to feed on desire. I drive to Rivergate that night determined to access the chambers beneath. The service corridor fire door stands open as if expecting me, stairs descending into darkness. The basement level isn't on any official blueprint. Concrete walls give way to older stone, then to something that looks organic. Walls that pulse slightly in my flashlight beam. I follow the corridor until it opens into a vast chamber. Display cases line the walls, but instead of products, they contain what look like retail uniforms from every era of the mall's existence, still containing their three-dimensional human shapes, but empty of actual people. In the center stands a circle of mannequins surrounding a store display table. On the table lies my security uniform, perfectly pressed, awaiting a body. As I back toward the exit, my radio crackles to life with backwards voices. The mannequins turn as one. The nearest lunges with unnatural speed, plastic fingers closing around my wrist as the security camera in the corner erupts into static. its blank face inches toward mine as a mouth cracks open across its surface. The mannequin doesn't consume me as I expected. Instead, it speaks, voice like 1,000 receipt printers running simultaneously. You've documented well. You qualify for management. My uniform on the table transforms into a different outfit. A mall administrator's blazer with a Rivergate logo. The mall dies. We transition. We need curators for the next phase. It releases my wrist, leaving no marks despite the crushing pressure I felt. Choose, join inventory or join management. Understanding floods through me. The mall isn't haunted. It's evolving, shedding its physical form as online shopping kills traditional retail. These entities aren't feeding on the mall. They're preparing its afterlife. I'm still deciding when my phone chimes. A text from an unknown number. We've received your transfer request. Report to Westfield Online Fulfillment Center tomorrow night. Attached is a photo of a massive windowless warehouse. Behind it stands something that only resembles a building in the most technical sense. The mannequin's featureless face somehow conveys satisfaction. The new spaces need security too. Don't face the horrors alone. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. And if you want your nightmare seen, email it to stories@hallowcroft.com.